Who takes the charger out of the box and then people applaud them for it? Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we look at the discussion on battery on both of these devices. Now, the 9 is on my AT&T account, and the AT&T account, or AT&T is not certified on either one of these devices. So if I put my AT&T SIM card in the 9 Pro, it's still going to say LTE. So there's no 5G available for AT&T at the moment. So, you know, that, and the reason I'm pointing that out, because that plays a part on the hit on your battery. Now, I do a lot of streaming, and I'm going to talk about how much of my battery life has been pretty much for Wi-Fi and 5G or LTE or whatever. But so on the 9, I shouldn't say I can't, shouldn't be a part of your vocabulary. I'm not currently getting more than 5 hours of screen on time, roughly, on every charge. But the good part is, as you can see at the top up there, there's a software update that just popped up right before I was shooting this video. And so I was downloading it. That's why the battery probably dropped to 98. It was pushing a little hard getting that file downloaded. And this one's just been sitting. So the T-Mobile, Verizon, these devices are certified on either one. So you can get 5G if that's your thing. 5G is fairly fast on T-Mobile, and it's fast on AT&T when I have a AT&T SIM card or phone that's using 5G. But network is important to your battery. So the AT&T account with the Oneplus 9 might be working a little bit harder to keep service. So, you know, unfortunately, I didn't take any screenshots. I totally forgot. But I did take some screenshots with the OnePlus 9 Pro. But in the end, I can tell you that if you have the 9 Pro, I've seen people reporting that they're not even getting 5 hours, or that's the most they've gotten on the 9 Pro. Now, there's so many things that play a part in battery. This discussion is kind of a moot point because I don't like to judge the battery by the screen on time. I like to judge it by how long it stays off the charger. That is the way I prefer to, because I don't walk around like before YouTube. I wasn't walking around monitoring my screen on time. I didn't even really focus on that until you guys brought it to my attention years ago and say, hey, you need to monitor by the screen on time. That shows how you're actually using the phone. Well, that doesn't really show how I'm actually using the phone. Just because I've gotten 4 hours of screen on time, that doesn't mean that I got bad battery, because the phone might have lasted 3.5 days. It's off the charge. So to me, that's fantastic battery. We really should give our phones a break. You know, try not to be on your phone too much. That's the best way to get good battery, is to use your power saving mode on the phones, and then don't get on your phone so much. Go enjoy life. It's sunny out. Go for a walk, whatever. But battery life, to the point, is definitely better on the Pro. For some reason, I don't know why it's better on this device. You know, this has the Quad HD settings, and that's another thing. Let me go into the settings here, and you can see the display settings on both of these. Display. Let's go advanced. Okay, so here you can see I have the 120 hertz option on both, but I have a resolution setting for this one because this says I'll get excellent battery if I put it to full HD plus, but I'm leaving it on Quad HD plus. I mean, 3216 by 1440 is just freaking amazing. I love it. So and the reason I do that is because I want to take advantage of all the money that I spent on it. I want to get all that I can out of this device. I don't want to, you know, dumb it down if I don't have to, just to squeeze a little bit more battery out of this thing. And the crazy part is, these aren't far apart when it comes to the display technology, like the representation of colors and things like that, and peak brightness. Peak nit is 1100 and this one's 1300. They're both HDR10 plus certified. They're both fluid AMOLED. They're just labeling this fluid AMOLED 2 and all this other stuff. The reality is they both look great. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, the pixel count is higher over here, so it does look a little better. But you know, I just feel like when it comes to battery, there's way too many things to play a part in how you're going to get good battery. And unfortunately, yes, he is. Unfortunately, the 9 Pro really slumps the it really kind of gives an extra 2 hours or more over the 9 for some reason, even though I have it set at the high resolution. So I found that to be strange because even though these icons are set up different, I just have more. I have all of my paid apps that I do. Some of these aren't paid, but the Hulu. Well, no, Hulu's paid. Tubi or whatever, and Pluto TV. Those are free TV services, and I highly recommend that you do that. I highly recommend that you get those. Totally worth it. It's like some good stuff on there. But I pretty much have these set up a little different. I have things over here and I have nothing over here. So that's not going to make it get that poor battery life, just because I have few extra icons open over here and then they're in a folder over here. The usage. I'm carrying both of these phones right here, and whichever one I happen to have in my hand, I'm going to I'm going to reply with. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why the Pro model is getting better battery. They both have a 4,500 milliamp hour battery inside. So to end this one fairly quickly, there's really no need to drag this on. The Pro model gets better battery. How I've been getting battery on both, it's pretty much been on LTE or 5G for about 4 hours of the time that it's used. Because after that, I leave the house and I'm on 5G or LTE. So the 9 with the AT&T account might be working a little bit harder because it's not certified on AT&T's network. That might be what it is. The Pro model certified on T-Mobile and Verizon. You know what I'm saying? This is a T-Mobile variant here. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a matter of why is this one getting better battery life. I think it's going to boil down to the network. For me, I think that's what it is. I think that shout out to the crew over there. I think that in the Discord group, I think the Discord group link should be in the description of this video if you want to join. Don't come with no nonsense. I'm just going to boot you out if you come in clowning. And it's a lot of people in there that will boot you out. So, but in the end, I think that for the reason I'm not getting the better battery life on this version, the 9, even though it has the lower resolution display, I just think it's the network for me. This time, I think it's genuinely the network. I think this isn't certified on any network. The 9 is not certified on the AT&T network. So that's why it's pulling down the not so great battery life compared to the Pro model. Now the Pro model on the upwards, like I think I said it already, I get roughly about 7 hours of screen on time if you want to measure that way. Both of these will last me through a full day. The Pro model just lasts a little bit longer. That's ultimately it. And when I measure the screen on time for the 9, I'm only getting 5 or less. But the great part about that is this right here. Warp Charge 65, folks. Warp Charge, if you're not using, and we're talking to somebody who has a 80 watt that I actually use or 100 watt that I actually use, they're just not optimized to charge these phones that fast in that 30-minute time frame, and it really does charge it in a 30-minute time frame. All right, so if you look at the percentage on the battery now with just me having the screens on for this video, this one is down to 97. This one's at 99. However, they both started at 100 before this video, but I think I said it. I got a software update on here, and I was downloading that software update. And by the time I started the video back up, because this is like take number 17, things kept popping up, and phone calls and stuff. So, but this battery got hit, and the phone calls weren't on this phone. By the way, they were on this phone. So, and so, I just feel like to get the best out of your Oneplus, you need to be using this Warp Charge right here. You should be doing that. And I don't even use the chargers that comes in boxes. I just toss it to the side and use my 100 watt or my 80 watt. But in this situation, this is the first time that I'm keeping this Warp Charge on hand. And when you think about it, how many people aren't even praising OnePlus for doing this? I mean, they're giving you what you need to make your phone functional, which is a charger. How can you give us a phone with no charger in the box? What a stupid, that's just a stupid idea that people are following. What idiot thought of this, man? What idiot thought of putting a phone out, a device? It's like giving me my laptop with no charger. That doesn't make any sense. And the people who applaud, they're saving the industry, they're saving the economy. Get out of here. They're not saving them. They're saving themselves money and charging us more. So OnePlus definitely gets a pass from me, and they get mad respect for putting the freaking charger in the box. Who does that? Who does it? Who takes the charger out of the box, and then people applaud him for it. I made a joke, a mockery out of it. You know what I'm saying? With Samsung, with the thin box, I reviewed the box. Yeah, it's stupid that they took the charger out of the box, folks. That's dumb. If you don't think so, something's wrong, for real. You know what I'm saying? People's actually telling me with my iPhone, well, you got other charging bricks laying around. Look, they put a Type-C charger, Type-C cable in there. How could I have a whole bunch of Type-C chargers laying around? Come on, son. Nonetheless, let's get back on it. Battery life, better on the 9 Pro. Let's get it.